Hello guys, this is Lingesh, and today I will be talking about a book which I've recently completed. The book is none other than that. It's Ignited Minds by A.P.J. Abdul Kalam. So, the reason why I bought this book is that I wanted to read something of kind of like a bio, not a biography, but an person's perspective, which I was not reading a lot. I'm a person who reads a lot of non-fiction books and try to get different perspectives of life. But I never thought of getting a perspective of a person, of an individual person. So that's the reason. That's the only reason I bought the book, which is this, and. And this was written by Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam. So those who don't know, he is one of the well-known scientists, president of our country, India, and he has passed away. But still, his book reflects his true legacy, his true determination, his true passion, his commitment to our country, India, where he just had this mission to make India a developed country and stand out of like all other countries. So he has shared a lot of insights. I don't want to go through each and every pages and just read out, but I wanted to summarize certain things, which is so this book talks about APJ Abdul Kalam's some life moments where he goes to certain meetings, public speaking sessions, and also different situations. He explains about different situation and what he learned from those situations. So it's really interesting. I really bought this book in Zepto, so it was like just a 10 minutes delivery to my home. But if you're really someone who is so interested in reading, I would definitely recommend this book. You should give it a try, because after reading this book I got this different perspective of a country. Our country is a developing nation, but every individual, if you see, they don't really think about our country. People spit in the roads, people go like don't even bother about any kind of like a development project. Let's say we are a citizen, but what do we contribute to the our country's development? You might say we just pay the taxes and the government take care of everything, but we as citizens also play a key role in making our country a developing nation, in sense that we citizens need to first have a proper mindset that our country should become developed. That's what like Abdul Kalam insisted in this. Like, Abdul Kalam sir like expressed his whole thought in making you know a person's mindset to be more of an whole team. He wants all of us to work as a team rather than being more individualistic. Whereas like more, if you see in our economy, people go for work, people make money, people like spend every money for themselves, for their families, but only few like come out of that circle and make a social impact, like do a lot of social services or make a greater impact and change the perspectives of minds, and truly take actions and execute things which actually makes our country much more developed. So it's really important that we as an individual, we as an Indian, if you're an Indian, if you are even a global citizen, no matter what who you are, it's our responsibility to make a change in this world, because this world is not gonna be the same. Our worlds are gonna change every single moment, every single second. We live in a VUCA world. We don't know what will happen tomorrow. We don't know what will happen even right now. A bomb could blast in my home right now. Who really cares? You see this political situation in US and Iran, and it does not just impact the two countries, but it also impact we as different countries, let's say it impacts Pakistan, it impacts India, it impacts a lot of South Asian countries. So we can't really say that a conflict between two different countries is not a issue for others. It could literally make a lot of impact as in the globalization, in the civilization whatsoever. So it's really important that we as an individual should think of an big impact or a different solutions for existing problems. But we human beings, what do? We don't really put our thoughts. So this book just shifts my mindset into thinking more of a nationalistic perspective of how I see this world. But he also talks about a business situation in this, where he explains about a certain material of raw material. I'm not sure, it's some chemical raw material which is available in India, but Japanese, they export no, sorry, they import this chemical raw material from our country and they manufacture it and sell it to other countries. And Abdul Kalam sir is insisting that why could not we create a manufacturing industry and we make wealth out of our own resources. I feel like that is also a different perspective. It's not a more, for, making just more money. It's also that how well we can utilize and create more opportunities, create more change in the society which we are living. So we Indians should think of different angles, and only with and a different perspective we Indians could actually attain that develop this country's tag or state. Till then, we Indians will remain the same. We will work for, even Abdul Kalam sir has mentioned about the we Indians work for other countries and we don't return back. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. We don't. We lots of Indians go to abroad. Even I will be going to abroad for my studies soon. But what we need to understand is that we should not forget our mother country and come back here and do something big. That should be the mindset. It's not that we just go out and settle there and make the capitalist grow in the other countries. Of course, it's fine if that's your values, but you should again add value to the place which you have born, which you have been for a while, or at least even if you are in a place for, let's say, even in 1 minute, or even if let's say 15 minutes, days, or even a 1 month, you should always think of how well you can add value to the place which you are staying. When people think like this, they actually create a lot of positive thoughts, vibrations, and all those things add positivity, and it overall makes a greater impact. I'm not just talking this as some like it's not just some I'm not just blabbering something, but I'm stating like this is my perspective of how I see things. Cause just imagine if there is a room and there are like 5 to 15 people, and one single person having a different perspective, whereas the rest 14 person follows that different perspective. But let's say all 15 people have different perspective. When all 15 people express their different point of views, like which perspective would all these 15 people choose? So all these things combine, it wires everybody's perspective, and then it will connect some dots, and in the end they try to no uh, come to a conclusion to a single perspective which aligns with all those 15 people. And that's what would make a great change rather than just following a single person. So when a single person makes a decision, then it's more of an autocrative, no leadership or autocrative decision making. But we Indians are more, that usually happens in most of the companies. Like people don't really like make big change in decision makings. So but that needs to be changed in our country. It's like if all these things would happen, it will actually give a better, solutions for like different problem we Indians face. And this book, through Abdul Kalam's different life situation, it clearly like states how we Indians should see people, should see our country, and how we should, think from global perspective as well as from a nation's perspective, and how well, should, treat an individual, treat everybody. Like most of these things, even treating someone is not taught in schools. I don't know why. Like most schools just, focus on science education, focus on something which are more relevant. I'm not just talking about job market. Like people don't really even think of life. Like people don't really think what is life. And like Abdul Kalam also spoke a lot about spirituality, where he follow it or not, it's up to us. But what I feel is that even schools could, help students to find their spiritual path. It could be any religion, but we as human beings should also think spirituality as not just an, something a taboo, something or thing which is superstitious, but spirituality should be a part of life. Of course, there are the atheists. Of course, there are people who don't believe in God. But what if we don't even provide a medium for them to even, understand spirituality? Of course, all these atheist people study science. All these atheist people study social science. They don't really like, say that I don't really wanted to study science. I don't really wanted to make money. I don't really wanted to do that, do this. But why don't you just have a glance of it? Why don't you just have an overview of what it is? It would actually could make a change in the person's perspective of life. So let's take money. Money has a different perspective for different people. I have a perspective of money which could be different from different people. But still, we human beings should not just focus more on, thinking how well we should capitalize on someone else, or how well we can, know increase our wealth. Increasing our wealth is fine, but how well we, contribute or add value with the amount someone is paying is what matters at the end. Of course, whatever I'm speaking could be irrelevant to the book, but this is my perspective of life after reading this book. So I literally, this is just my perspective of life after reading this book, where it gave me a clarity of how well I should see our country, how well I should see the place which I'm living. So, so yeah, it's up to you whether you should take this thing or not. But I just felt like sharing this, and it's almost 11:47. I don't know whether I'm speaking right things or not. So Uh, much about this book I really loved a lot. He talks about spirituality a lot in this book, and he even like stated a lot of quotes in the chapter pages, and he talks about his life situation, his friendships, even how his experience in DRDO, which is the defense organization, and ISRO, his work experience. He shared a lot of work experiences, patriotism, and so on, getting the force of it. So yeah, if you are someone who, even a person who's just starting to read a book could go for it. Like this is a must read book, man. Of course, there are a million copies sold, but still, if those people who have didn't read, who wants to start a reading journey, I would really recommend Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam's Ignited Minds. And he also had a goal that we should plant a lot of trees. There's an interview which is available in Tamil language, I guess, with a comedian actor who's also passed away, where he mentioned that we Indians, or sorry, we human beings should plant a lot of trees, because in future, like, as like, of course many people are aware that there is an air pollution, and a lot of people in Delhi are, like, could not even, like, breathe properly, or in sense that a lot of, environmental issues are gonna come in the future. Let's say climate change, let's say global warming, or whatsoever. There could be even a new issue of the environment which humans could not even think of. So it's really important that we human beings should, you know, think of doing something back to the environment which we are living, not just utilizing it. Right, we utilize a lot of things, let's say water, let's say air, let's say even products which we are buying, like, even like if we are exploiting a lot of natural resources, we either in our conscious or unconscious thing we exploit a lot of natural resources. But how well we can, do or do something back to our nature for what we have exploited, how well we can, like, it's more like, we have committed a sin, but we have to compensate with something else. So how will we compensate with a good thing? We have done a bad thing, but how will we compensate that with a good action? So we human beings don't think of good action for the environment, but we think of a good action for, let's say, for ourselves. So that's where I like, that's where people become so egoistic and not think about different perspectives and just more self-centered. So I don't know why I'm speaking all these things, but I just thought of speaking some random talk. This book review become a random talk session. So, so yeah, I'm also like reading another book which is The Courage to Be Happy. Of course, I'm already happy. Of course, I'm unemployed, but still I'm happy with the state I'm being. So I just read some, probably 10 page, 15 pages I've read. So I hope this book gives me another new perspective, and yeah, I'll be sharing what I learned from that, or I would share my perspective after what I've learned from that book rather than the author's perspective of the book. Probably that's what matters at the end. Because like when you read a book, it's not just you get a perspective of the author, but you create your own perspective of. That's what reading makes you. That's what the whole idea of reading books is. Not just you consume a content and you just, you know reproduce or apply what the author has said. It's you who should, like, make perspective of what the author has said, and you, like, you know execute, from your own mind and own perspective. So that's when true learning happens. That's when you feel like you have read something. Otherwise it's more like an Indian school education where you just like, memorize something and wait for some good opportunities like exam to prove yourself. Which is just, I feel like, it's a waste of time sometimes, but sometimes it also opens new doors and opportunities for people who are just, who wants to have some stable life, or to follow a herd mentality. So that's up to people. I don't want to, like, overthink or, like, put thoughts on that, but still. So yeah, because I don't have enough time. Of course, I'm lazy enough to edit this video, but I still feel like this flow state will help me. Yeah, thank you for watching this video. Subscribe, like, or do whatever. Thank you.